Hello everyone, I'm Walid Hassan from BracU Express, and today we have a very special guest with us. I doubt if anyone from BracU who doesn't know his name. He completed his undergrad from MIT and then studied at Stanford, Cambridge, and Imperial College, and then suddenly decided to come back to Bangladesh. And he's been the dean of School of Data and Sciences, Brac University, for the last 5 years. And he also the national coach for Bangladesh Mathematical Olympiad and also the girls math team Bangladesh. He's none other than Professor Mahbubul Majumdar.
So thank you for having me.
First, like to congratulate you on the successfully organizing the Jamanul Islam Winter School for Theoretical and Mathematical Physics. I think this is the first of its kind in Bangladesh to where you have able to brought the leading researchers from around the world to Dhaka and train our students. And you have sometimes said that this initiative was in making for 20 years. Could you elaborate on that? How?
So we'd always dreamed about creating world-class training programs, workshops for our students and our researchers. So it wasn't possible before. We'd been dreaming about this for 20 years. And because of the new Bangladesh and because of Brac University's new administration and support from within Brac University, which was very important, we were able to do this time.
So could you explain how the journey of the past 20 years, it coming up to the winter school, the past 20 years you have when you come back to Bangladesh, this type of things didn't happen in Bangladesh, but what was the journey like for the last 20 years?
So 20 years so I came to Bangladesh in about 2005 or 6. And so then people really didn't understand what our young people were capable of. So for example, during the first math camp for the Math Olympiad, the students were taught A-level mathematics. So if you know A-level mathematics and you know Olympiad math, you would laugh at that. Why are they teaching A-level maths? That's because the people who ran it, who were actually the heads of and faculty of Dhaka University Mathematics Department, didn't appreciate what our young people are capable of. So what's happened over the last 19 years is that we've kind of been able to raise the standards of our young people and kind of explain to people that young people can really do amazing things. So for example, now our students are doing amazing things. They're doing world-class things. Before, they were doing good things, but maybe not so much world-class things. So our best students are as competitive as any student in the rest of the world. For Brac University, I got involved first with North-South University in 2007 or something like that. And then in 2013, I joined Brac University, or 2014, I think. It's been a journey to kind of recalibrate the standards, to kind of raise the standards within the university, within the different programs. So, for example, at some point, when I first started teaching at Brac University, there was a kind of belief that Brac University students aren't very good, okay, and particularly those in maybe studying engineering or studying engineering or computer science or math or physics weren't so good. They were private university students, okay. That was the general belief. I think now people understand that Brac University students are as competitive as students anywhere in Bangladesh. And some of the very brightest students in all of Bangladesh are Brac University students. So we've managed to somehow elevate the standards, make people understand what young people are capable of. I think that's the main achievement.
More specifically, this winter school, you have managed to brought Ashok Sen, Subrat Rajan, Professor Mikhail Chikoli, they are the leading figures in theoretical and mathematical physics. Why it's important to bring these leading figures of the scientific community to Bangladesh, and why it's important? Don't we have our own faculty members here? Why this academic and research exchange is important in your opinion?
So I think the biggest problem in Bangladesh is the lack of expectations. So people, if you give them a little bit, they're very happy. They don't expect what they deserve. So they deserve a lot more than what they expect. So one of our tasks is really to show our students and our faculty what you really deserve in terms of quality education, in terms of quality facilities and things like that. So a lot of times our students and faculty are busy with mundane things, very mundane things. We have to give them something to aspire to, something to dream about, show them, kind of like tell them to look at the stars, to show them where the real standards are. So when people from outside of Bangladesh come, leading people from outside, the world-class people from outside, they show our students and our people what they should be aiming for. They show everybody what the real standards are. So that's so important. It doesn't matter, the subject isn't important, whether it's math, physics, computer science, biotechnology, economics, whatever. If our people know what the real standards are, then they'll do very well on a global stage. And this is very important for us because we have to stand on our own feet.
Yes, like also the Brac University motto, inspiring excellence, like that's we should aspire to be.
Right. So people have to know what excellence is. Unfortunately, Amader Deshe, or in Bangladesh, people don't have a good idea of what excellence is. If you have a limited exposure to what maybe is excellence, then you won't expect, you won't inspire excellence in others.
I think your friends are like the learning that we get at the university, like we should aim to use this learning and like attempt to solve the problems around us, and from that we will, like in the future, that will lead to a culture of research and intellectual pursuit.
Right. So when we say research, we want to say solving problems. Okay. Somebody who might be a mathematician, he will solve some math problems. He will also solve some other problems. Let's say in groundwater. Right. In Bangladesh, we have to be a little bit more broad. Our people need to work in various fields. We have to have expertise in lots of different fields, not just maths, but maybe some sort of applied field as well. So if our people have wide expertise, no matter what their background, it might be pure science, maybe a mathematician or a theoretical physicist, they will be able to approach and solve almost any other problem.
Right, sir. Like even like some other people from Bangladesh, like are trying to build a center where people can come from all over the world and do research, like a world-class center for theoretical sciences in Bangladesh for some couple of years now. Similar projects we have seen in India, like Tata Institute and ICTS, and also in Italy, all the global south, the ICTP center, and also have seen recently Professor Neil Turok built some amazing institute in Africa, African Institute of Mathematical Sciences, AIMS. Like how we can learn from their experience and like replicate those models to Bangladesh, or like we need to have a different model for our country to build such an institute that can sustain itself and like guide the nation forward.
So you see that science is not done by some genius sitting in a corner. Science and all types of problems are solved by people working in groups. Research or problem solving is a social activity. You need more than one person. You need many people. So kind of the role of centers is to bring people from all over the world, experts from all over the world who work together to solve problems. The United States by itself doesn't have all the people to solve whatever problems it needs to solve, right? A huge country like the United States. They bring people from all over the world to visit their centers to work on various problems. So in Bangladesh, we are a country of about 200 million people, okay? We need to also get the help and advice and support from people from all over the world. So center is vital for this because it attracts the best people from all over the world, and they work with our local people, and together they develop solutions.
Like, sir, how we can like build those kind of institute in Bangladesh? Like, what's the key factor that like the global south and the third world is lacking, that we cannot match those like Western academia level? Like, what's the like main factor that we are unable to build such a center or institute even after 50 years of independence in Bangladesh?
To be honest, I don't know. I think it's a mentality. It's not a priority for us, for example. Building a center is not very difficult. I mean, people build apartment buildings all the time. 20-story apartment buildings, 10-story apartment buildings. How many apartment buildings does it take to make a center? Not much, right? Not many, right? So we have the ability. Is there money? There's a lot of money, right, in Bangladesh, right? Do we have enough resources, do we have enough people? There are plenty of people who are very interested in doing these type of things. So I think it's just a lack of priority, a lack of management. For some reason, this hasn't been prioritized because we have everything that's needed. If we get some help from our foreign friends, then it will be easy. And the thing about a research institute, you don't need to have like $1 billion lab, right? We don't need to be spending so much money making labs. Basic things we can do at very low cost. We can do it at much lower cost than hiring people from abroad, for example.
Like how we can like make the fundamental sciences into a national priority. So like we know, like without fundamental sciences, the developing world won't be able to match the levels of the developed world or the Western world. Like we always have to need to like rely on the Western countries to like give the technology and then just to be a manufacturing hub for the Western world. Like how we can proceed from the current situation, and push for an agenda that would make the fundamental sciences into a national priority. Like how we can probably can do advocacy or like lobbying in the government. Like how should we proceed, in your opinion, to make this a national priority?
That's a very good question. Personally, I believe all our young people are interested in science. Most of them.
Yeah.
You see children looking at the stars. Okay, what is that star? Okay, they ask questions. So our young people are always interested in asking questions and learning more. Somehow we shut them up. Somehow we tell them, no, you have to study commerce, or you have to study arts, or you have to study this. We kind of destroy education, and by partitioning it, by categorizing it. And for example, and unfortunately, education is a business now. So if you don't know something, it's good for somebody who can teach you, right? Unfortunately, we as teachers have failed the people of Bangladesh. We haven't given the young people what they deserve. So that's kind of our mission here, really, to people to really explain to people again that what is it that you deserve. So if we can help people, if we can train our teachers, if we can train our researchers to teach young people, then I think young people will naturally interested in science.
Like we need to cultivate that like group of people to nurture them to like, then the future generation will able to establish a central like collaborative space to like push more.
I think so, yes. Okay. Another problem is that a lot of our older people don't believe what our young people can do. They don't say, they always ask, Amra ki parbo? Can our students do that? For example, in the Math Olympiad, in the beginning, people didn't believe that our students could get an honorable mention.
Now we have a gold medal.
Now we have a gold medal.
Yeah.
Right?
So on that note, like you have attended like world's most prestigious university in your academic life, like MIT, Stanford, Cambridge, Imperial College, to name a few. Like, how is your experience in the Western academia, like, and what you have seen in the last 20 years in Bangladesh, like, relates to like why our universities like can't reach that level of excellence, and why we are like failing behind in rankings or whatever, or so on.
I think it's the culture, really. It's unfortunately Bangladesh, we have a culture of seniority. I'm more senior than you. Okay, maybe because like I'm one class above you. Okay, or somebody who's senior, he's a department head, he has special respect. In Western countries, nobody cares who's older, younger, whatever. People are much more free. So I think this seniority, this type of deference is kind of what hurts us a lot. I think at Brac University, particularly within the computer science department, we have gotten rid of a lot of the seniority culture. So people are not more free. If we are able to cultivate this kind of like freeness where a student can talk to a professor, can talk to the chairperson and not be afraid, okay, and complain to them, Madam or Sir, this is not working, okay, then we'll naturally become better and better, I think. I think that's the basic difference. Okay, if you are able to communicate freely, then you will have a good educational system.
So, like the Brac University now has an agenda of becoming the like leading knowledge hub of the global South. Like, do you think it's achievable in like 10 like to 15 years time frame, like how should we like what are the steps should look like to like vision materialize that vision?
I think this is possible. It will take some very wise leadership from those who are in power and positions of leadership. They need to, so in order to become a very good university, you need to kind of like promote the people who are good, you need to promote people who on merit, not let's say service experience or political whatever issues. So if you promote the right people, if you give our young faculty and our students a chance to contribute and a lot of our young faculty are very energetic. They want to do a lot. They want to do a lot of things. If you let them, okay, if you don't hamper them, and then you hire good people from around the world. They don't have to be Bangladeshi, or you have schools and initiatives and workshops, and you have these type of things. Then the standards will just naturally grow. And if they keep growing, at some point they will become world class.
Like you have some success in that as well. Like after you have joined, like many Bangladeshis from abroad like returned to Bangladesh and joined BRAC, and that also like elevated the overall student experience at the STS.
I hope so. I think we managed to hire some good faculty. Definitely the quality of faculty is much higher than before. For example, we get the best students from all over Bangladesh, from every single university. That didn't happen before. We're lucky because at least in the computer science department, we have a chairperson, Sadia Hamid Kazi, who cares about students, who cares about quality, and doesn't have any agenda. And she makes a lot of things possible. I think in general, we need to get better by involving our young faculty into doing more work. We need to have more initiatives like this winter school. We need to have more seminars, and we need to really work on having a project-based education where, for example, our computer science students do projects instead of like assignments. We need to work towards that. And in terms of the basic sciences, there's a lot we need to do.
So like the first step should look like the building a collaborative environment that you have, I think, successfully managed to do in the school, and all the professors and students like interact each other and like exchange ideas. Like that it didn't happen before. Like I have heard from the seniors who were studied before you came. Like they always tell like there is a like visible difference before and after your leadership. Sir, on that note, like you are also involved in many activities outside BRAC. To notably, you are the national coach for the Math Olympiad. Also, have started an initiative called Bangladesh Girls Mathematics Foundation, like where you train girls from all around Bangladesh and send them to the prestigious competitions around the world. Like, and also some of those Olympiad medalists have come to BracU to study under the Sir Fazl Hassan Abid scholarship. Like, what are your experiences on this like Olympiad culture and how it impacted Bangladesh and changed that? You said like set the bar high.
I think the issue there is it set the bar high. So we're so lucky that our Olympiad students are choosing Brac University. I don't think 5 years ago anybody would have dreamed that a medalist in the International Math Olympiad would could come to Brac University. Forget a private university. Yeah. Okay, but this is where they're coming. This seems to be their first choice. The Olympiad students, they help inspire others, or that's what we want them to do. Not all Olympiad students are leaders or inspire others, but many of them kind of can show the way to other students that you can achieve this. Okay, these are the standards we're aiming for. The Olympiad students understand the standards because they've competed in the International Math Olympiad and they know the world standards.
Brought back some, not just Math Olympiad, also like International Informatics Olympiad students to Brac University, and they have pushed themselves further and showed their excellence in the International Collegiate Programming Contest as well. Like, I think even after 2 years ago, like nobody would believe like a student from Brac University, the team from Brac University could go to International Collegiate Programming Contest, ICPC. Like that's only reserved for the like best universities in the Bangladesh, like BUET or CL, DU. But that has changed recent years. Like now Brac University can also like compete in those prestigious competitions, like be champion in them. Like how do you like comment on them, like how this bringing these like people to Brac and students to Brac, and like they have contributed to the overall student community at Brac?
Yeah, so we're lucky to have these brilliant students who trusted us. So they put a lot of trust in us when they came here, because they could have gone to many, many places. They could have gone to BWIT, for example, or they could have gone abroad, but they decided to stay at Brac University. So we want them to be an example to our students. They've done incredibly well in the ICPC, and they'll do even better in the future. We want them to inspire our computer science students and other students to really be good at these things. We have a big challenge within our computer science program to really kind of like teach all of our students. We have like 9,000 students. So we have weak students, we have very strong students, and we have students in the middle, right? So it's a big challenge for us to make sure that even the weak students become good students, right? It's not enough for the brilliant students to become like super brilliant. We need to raise the level of everybody. Yeah. And I hope that these kind of ICPC students can help inspire these students.
I think a cultural shift also taking place in the school. Like they are organizing like weekly practice contests, or like training the other students as well, like voluntarily training them. Like that, I think, like is as you said, the mindset change.
Yeah, so I think the thing is, if you let young people do things instead of saying, "Na, ita kora jabe na." No, okay, you need to do this. You know, I mean, if you put all sorts of restrictions on people, then these things don't happen. But if you give them the freedom to do what they want to do within the boundaries of what's possible, then the young people will lead everybody forward. It's the job of the older people to guide the young people, but the young people have the energy.
So, like, you are putting your trust on young people, right? That you're trying to say, like, so what is your like top advice for like someone who's starting the university career and aspires to be a leader in that field, in computing or in fundamental sciences? Like, what do you say to them? How should they like develop themselves?
So one of our big problems with young people is that they don't know, they feel shy about asking for help. So they don't realize that the faculty are there really to help them. So we have a lot of really good faculty who are willing, to help other people, yeah. Right? So I ask our young students, even our junior faculty, to, if you have questions, if you're not sure, ask. Okay, if you're a student, ask your faculty for help. Go and knock on their door, or find them in the department and ask, please give me a problem, or please, I didn't understand this. Okay, we work very hard to create those resources, but you need to be able to make use of those resources. So getting people to do that is very important. The other thing is that give us feedback. So don't just write on Facebook whatever faculty review, okay? Let us know who is a good teacher, who is a bad teacher, who is doing a good job, and who's doing a bad job. So I think if the students are involved, really, okay, and they show persistence about wanting to do new things, then the faculty will support them.
So like you're trying to say, like the students should like push themselves further, also like seek help from the resources available at the Brac.
Yeah, they should push themselves, and they should seek all the possible resources. And if they don't have the resources, then they should ask for more resources.
Okay. So thank you, sir. Like now I'd like to like go to some personal questions. Like you grew up in the United States, like you have won Math Olympiads from a very early age. Like how those early childhood experiences like shaped who you are today, and what works have you been doing?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, I was successful at an early age in lots of things. So I mean, that made me aware of one thing, that personal success is overrated. Okay. Really. So you can be, let's say you win a Nobel Prize, big deal. Okay. But if you create, that's a one person achievement. You can be a professor at a big university, you can do this by yourself, but those are small achievements really. It's really about creating other people who do the same thing as you do, let's say, to create a community. So it's more important, really. I mean, if you will have a lasting effect, really, if you help create other people, you'll create institutions, you'll create groups of people doing the same, having the same vision. So for me, because maybe I was successful, I thought personal success is stupid. Okay, I mean, it's really about group success.
Building
that's important.
A community of people who can like push the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, like, was that the reason like that pushed you to like come back to Bangladesh and work to like develop that culture of or the community that you always envisioned?
Yeah, so there's a few reasons. One, I mean, I always told everybody that I would come to Bangladesh. People thought I was crazy. Okay, even once I told BTV, okay, when I was a kid, they interviewed me on Ittadi. I was maybe 16 years old. I said, "Jokon boro hoye, I will Bangladesh ashbo." And the interviewer thought I was crazy. So in some sense, I said I have to keep this promise. But really, why did I want to do that? Well, I feel a kind of natural connection to everybody in Bangladesh. Maybe your parents don't live in Bangladesh, but all your relatives, your grandparents live in Bangladesh, right? So you feel there's this natural connection. Also, you feel responsible. I mean, you can enjoy lots of things in the West, but something is missing inside if your own relatives are missing that. Yeah. I don't have access to that, right? So in order to be a complete person, you need the people around you also to have access to those resources, doing well, right? And when you talk about people around you, I mean, those concentric circles expand. That means you need the whole of Bangladesh to do well.
So, like, do you consider yourself as a nerd?
Yes, I'm of course a nerd. My wife is very much not a nerd, so we're the total opposites. But yes, I am a nerd.
Complement each other.
Maybe. I don't know if she thinks that, but yeah.
So, like, also on this note, like, your Twitter handle and a lot of your handles are like, where is Mahbub? Like, what's the story behind that? Like, do people always find traveling like where you are? Like, do you like juggle between a lot of places at once?
Yeah. So unfortunately, unfortunately, people are sometimes missing me. They're looking for me. Where's Mahbub? So where's Mahbub? It became a natural handle, a Gmail handle. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, thank you very much for giving us the time from your busy schedule for us today for this interview. Like, to end, like, I'd like to ask only one thing. Like, let's say in 10 or 15 years, like, what the one thing that if you are able to accomplish, like, you will say, like, yeah, I'm satisfied with my life and I am satisfied with everything what I have done. Like, what's the one thing like that you need to do to get the satisfaction or contentment?
Well, if people like you do great things in the future, okay, so then I'll be satisfied. If we find a place for our students who went abroad, we create a place for them to come back to and contribute to Bangladesh, I'll feel successful. Okay, if we can realize this vision that our freedom fighters fought for in 1971, this create the Shonar Bangla, okay, where the outlook is optimistic, then we will all feel optimistic.
Like, you want to like, as you said repeatedly, you want to not build for yourself, give back to the community and build a place or like build an idea, vision that like everyone can come to and contribute to, and then together everyone like push the nation forward. That's the one thing that would make you satisfied, right?
Yeah.
That's the
like I said, personal success is stupid. It's really about the group around, everybody around you.
Thank you, sir, again, and congratulations. Like, we hope you're able to succeed in the future.
I just wanted to thank all of our students, all of our volunteers, our chairperson, Sadi Hamid Kazi, our vice chancellor, and our board for really kind of helping us and supporting us.
So, do you have any comment on BracU Express and the works we have been doing?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, some of the articles you write are really nice. So I think, having a school news or a university newspaper is very important. I'll tell you one thing, okay? Being able to write clearly is just as important. It's actually more important than being able to calculate or even program. Being able to write clear essays, okay, means that you can think critically. And that's what's most important in this world.
I think on that note, we can end. And also, again, we thank Professor Mahbubul Majumdar for giving us time and for this interview. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.